everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your hosts Arne and Carlos.
And we are in the beautiful islands of Lofoten.
So, for people who don't know where Lofoten is, can you give them a geography
It's like
lesson?
above the Arctic Circle, out in the ocean, outside of Bodø. So we came to Bodø and we went with the ferry over to
Lofoten. These are our favorite islands in Norway. They are absolutely gorgeous and stunning. And at the time of recording this, we have the midnight sun here. So we have eternal day the whole day.
And we were thinking it's nice to make some videos somewhere else than in our house or in the garden. So we will take you on the trip.
Yeah, and our dear Eric, our favorite camera guy, is so excited because it is the first time in 5 years that he's actually been able to put us across each other.
Because we're always sitting next to each other at the end of the table, but now, look at this, it's so new.
You should have seen his exciting. He was really literally jumping up and down and clapping. Right, Eric? Yeah, he's doing his thumbs up. Anyway, today we have a little design for you. We've already published this design on our web shop, which you can, go to at arnecarlos.com and purchase. And this design is actually something that we did a long time ago. And actually, we designed this more or less at the same time as we fell in love with this part of the world. And the hat that we're talking about is the hat called Reine. And Reine is actually a little fishing village here in Lofoten. We decided to call the hat Reine. It wasn't designed or inspired by Lofoten, but it was designed and inspired by Norwegian fishermen and Norwegian culture. So we're going to tell you a little bit about the design, and we're going to tell you a little bit about another sweater that we haven't designed, but that is here on the table. And then Arne is going to show you how to knit, and purl the pattern. Before we start,
you say we're going to talk about the inspiration and show you the sweater. And now it's coming.
And now it's coming, yes. So anyway,
you don't have to wait a long time.
Yeah, in Norway there is a very particular sweater that is very common, and I wouldn't say it's a very beautiful sweater, but I would say that it is a work sweater. It's work wear. A lot of people wear it in the barns when they are dealing with their the day-to-day cow milking and things like that, or if they're on their tractors doing agriculture and it's cold, they may wear it. Fishermen wear it here to go out to fish, and it looks like this. Let's lift it up.
This one.
Yes. It's a very simple black and white sweater. It's knitted in stockinette, and it's got these stitches, they're alternating. So there's a row with 2 stitches in black, and then the next ones behind are staggered. And it creates a very nice, beautiful pattern, which we really love. But it is really a workwear sweater.
And in Norway, this is called Icelander. That means it's like
the Icelandic.
The Icelandic sweater.
Now, we believe that actually it's the name of the model. The way we call the hat Reine, this sweater is called the Icelander. And it's actually the name of the model. We've asked a couple of our Icelandic friends whether this sweater exists in Iceland, and so far, and as far as we know, they have said no, this is not an Icelandic sweater. So that's what they've said. Of course, you never know, huh? Maybe now we're going to get in the comment that it is an Icelandic sweater. So if it is, if you're from Iceland and if you've seen this sweater, put it in your comments and let us know.
But in Norway we call it the Icelander.
Yes.
So we will continue to call it the Icelander. You can't change that.
No, you can't change it, and if it's the model name, it's the model name. But I'm actually curious to know whether it is an Icelandic sweater, and only our Icelandic viewers will be able to answer that. And so far as we know, none of the people we know from Iceland have said that it is an Icelandic sweater. So anyway, it is a workwear sweater. It is used by workers, fishermen, farmers. And everybody knows this sweater here in Norway. Everybody has some sort of a relationship to it.
And then, like many years ago, we went on the cruise with Hurtigruten.
Our first cruise.
Our first cruise, and we came to Lofoten, and we came into this harbor, and there were like 2 boys on the harbor. They were fishing, and one of the boys had this sweater on, and that was very beautiful to look at. Like he just took a big fish out of the ocean.
Yeah, I remember it, you know, because that is the first time I saw Lofoten from the ocean, and we were arriving into that harbor as the sun was setting behind the mountains. This was in September of 2007. And it was just spectacular. The sunset was stunning. And then you saw these, you know, sharp mountains just crashing into the Atlantic Ocean. And then those 2 cute boys with the huge cod that they had caught. And I fell literally in love with the island immediately. I mean, head over heels in love with this place.
And at that time we worked in the fashion industry, and we were so inspired of that picture we saw.
And we had a Barbie in our suitcase.
We had a Barbie in the suitcase, so we made like small samples for the Barbie doll, and then we made it for people.
We started looking at this sweater because the little boy was wearing it, and then we started thinking that, you know, it's already been done. We can't copy this. There's no way to copy this, but we can get inspired by it. And we can get inspired by the life in northern Norway and by Hurtigruten. So we decided to play a little bit with knit and purl to create some texture and kind of keep the spirit of this sweater, but creating our own version of it. And this is pretty much what we came up with.
That's how we came up with this pattern for the Reinehatt.
Now, at that time, we were also very influenced by pixelated images, because at that time in the fashion industry, we were in Paris a lot. And in Paris, there's a lot of street art on the buildings, which is these pixelated figures like the Space Invader. We designed a sweater inspired by that, a traditional Marius sweater that we kind of made into the Space Invader. We were looking at Pac-Man and all these different kind of computer games. So if you look closely...
If you use your imagination, you can actually see
a figure. With this one here is wearing sunglasses, and this one here is he's kind of a dark figure with white eyes. So it's kind of like a little computer pixelated little fellow. It is the knitting and purling to create structure and texture, and it is inspired by this amazing sweater. Now, we at the time when we were actually manufacturing these sweaters in the fashion industry, they were sold in the best stores in the world, like Liberty in London carried these.
With this pattern.
Nichols and loads of other high-end stores like Barney's in New York and so on. They carried this sweater, well, our sweater. And it was funny because at the time we were also traveling a lot in Norway holding lectures. And every time we went to hold a lecture in Norway, we'd show our design. So we'd show this sweater, but with this kind of pattern. And everybody would frown and look at it and just shake their heads. Remember that, Arne?
They said they didn't like it because it reminded them about the barn, and it's like it smelled like cow poo when I saw it. So that's how people...
They would come up to us and say, how could you take such a mundane sweater and make it into a fashion piece? For me, I look at that and it smells like cow poo or cow dung. And it's actually quite funny that the design woke these reactions in Norwegian people, because it's actually, I think for us, a lot of the design, the way we think is, you know, you look at your life, you look at your daily life, you look at the objects that surround you on a day-to-day basis, you take your inspiration from them, and then you elevate these things and make it into what we hope is fantastic designs that people will enjoy for many, many generations, at the same time as you're preserving and you're respecting the old traditions. This is a beautiful traditional sweater that needs to be elevated. It needs to be put...
But now we heard that this one is very trendy again.
That's beautiful. I mean, why not?
Kids, so we were like 25 years too early.
2007, that would mean we were 13 years too early.
13 years too early.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the story of the sweater. And then we also joke because it was knitted in a beautiful alpaca and merino blend. And we sold about, and very heavy, it weighed almost a kilo, our version, because there's a lot of knitting and purling, a lot of yarn. So, and we sold 100 of these to a very fashionable store in Los Angeles. And we just couldn't figure out when you wear something like this in LA, where it never gets cold. So we called it
the air-conditioned sweater.
Because we always freeze when we go to the US and we have to go indoors.
We always
in the
bring heavy knitwear when we go to places where we know there's air conditioning.
Yeah, because the air condition for us is colder than anything you can get outside here in the winter.
So should we show how we make this pattern?
Yeah,
just
please.
a quick one, just to show how we hold the yarn and stuff. So I have my, what you call this, pedagogiske Nordic.
Oh, you're in your educational needles.
Educational needles. So this is how we hold it. So when we're on the knit round, we knit normally by picking the yarn from the finger like this. So that's no extra trick. Mm-hmm. So I can do one needle with the one color, and then when we go to the color work, you have 2 stitches in the dark one with the knit, and 2 stitches in white, which is a purl.
So are you doing this background or this one?
I do the dark background. So when I start, I just knit these 2. But then when I do the other color, which is going to be the pearl, I take the pearl yarn on the finger, because then I purl from the finger. And then when I do the dark color, or the background color, which is the knit stitch,
you knit.
I throw this one in.
Wow.
So you throw in the knit stitch like this, because that's quicker, and then you purl the white one.
And the way you're knitting now is the really old style way of knitting in Norway.
Yeah.
This is how your grandmother did in 1905, right?
No, she wasn't born in 1905.
Well, your great-great-grandmother.
She did it in 1905. But you see why I do it is like if you knit the knit stitch or the dark color and you throw the white, that is more complicated, because then you have to put the needle in there, you have to grab the yarn, put it around, and then you purl. No, I did the yarn over. That's something you shouldn't do. You see how hard it is? So you do that, and then you have to go like this. You see, it's not easy. And I did a yarn over again. That's why I'm not doing it.
So do it the way you should, please.
So I do it on this side. See, if you purl this one and throw this one, it's so much easier. So the purl yarn is on the finger. Mm. So let me see if I can do it the other way again now.
Why should you if it doesn't work?
Just so you see why you shouldn't do it. See, if you knit from this one and then when you purl, it's more complicated to get that yarn over, and
so don't do it. That's what I say.
Like that, and they have to. It doesn't work, so that's why. And then when you finish the rounds with the knit and purl, so I'm going to fix that again. When you finish the 2 rounds with knit and purl, and you go back to just knit, you put the background color back on your finger, and then you just knit the dark color. Mm. So there's 1 round where you pick the dark color from the finger, but on the 2 next rounds you will throw the dark color. Yes. And pick the white color, which is a pearl. Mm. That makes it so much easier and so much quicker.
Yeah. So design, and also so design-wise, all the black stitches that you see on this one are purled. Yeah. And all the white stitches, every single one of them is knitted.
And then on this one, it's opposite.
Yeah, so here it's all the black stitches are knitted and all the white stitches are purled. This creates the texture and the design that we want to have. Now, I don't have a very nice face for hats. I hate when I put on hats, but you have a great hat head.
I have a hat head, so I can put it on.
I would suggest, because people are dying to see, this, how it's worn. So if you put the hat on, I'm going to put the sweater on. I'm going to make a sacrifice. It's really hot here today, but I'm going to make a sacrifice for you guys because we love you.
So then you put on that one, I put on this one. This is quick.
You don't want to have the matching hat for the sweater?
I think this is more matching than this one because this is whiter.
Okay. Oh, that was my hair. Now this is a big size, so...
You can grow in it.
Yeah, or we could just say it's like the oversized trend where everything is like really out of proportion.
It's trendy at the moment.
Yeah, I've got these huge shoulders to fill, but...
I'm ready.
There we go. Here we go. Now I really look like a rough fisherman from the north of Norway.
And I look like... what do I look like?
Well, you look like yourself.
A rough fisherman from the north of Norway.
With a great hat.
With a great hat.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the story about how we fell in love with Lofoten. That's the story about when we designed this hat. Actually, it was a sweater originally. And the sweater became a big success. It's actually, from our fashion industry career, one of the biggest bestsellers we ever have. Among others, Ray Kawakubo from Comme des Garçons fell in love with it. And it was part of the collaboration that we did with her back in the day. She comes from one of the most influential fashion houses in the world, very avant-garde Japanese designer, in case you don't know who she is. The people at Dover Street Market, remember, in London, how much they love the sweater. Yeah, so it's a sweater that is very close to our heart. We have actually never released a knitting pattern for the sweater itself.
Oh, we did with Schackenmeyer.
Oh yeah, right. We did it for a jacket.
See, we do so many things.
Yeah.
You can't remember it. And we did a hat once.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we're going to re-release a new knitting pattern for the sweater. We're going to redo it and kind of update it, make a little twist on it. And we're going to be posting that in our web shop at some point. If you're interested in that design, let us know in the comment fields. We always love the interaction with you guys and the feedback. And if you want to see what our original fashion sweater looked like, we didn't bring it because we were, we're not the best packers out there. How many shirts did we bring? About 20? So, there was no room for the sweater. But if you want to see what it looked like, we posted a photograph on our blog. So just go to arnecarlos.com and you can see a picture of the sweater from the fashion industry. If you want to purchase the pattern for the hats, just go to Arne Carlos and go to our shop and you can get the pattern there. And if you want to get this sweater, you'll probably have to come to Lofoten and purchase it here.
And I'm going to purchase something today because I saw another sweater in that style, but a different pattern, and I'm not leaving without it.
Okay, and I'm sure that our viewers would be interested in knowing what you're going to buy. Now, yes, we are knitters. Yes, we can knit it ourselves, but we also like supporting local businesses and helping them out financially by purchasing their products.
And sometimes we're lazy.
Yes, and plus we have a beautiful...
Be honest, Carl.
Okay, we're lazy and we have
lazy.
a collection of beautiful vintage sweaters. And sometimes we're also looking for tomorrow's vintage sweaters. So, from time to time we will buy a new sweater and add to our collection. So maybe you want to come with us and see what Arne is going to buy. You'll have to try it. I mean, if I'm wearing this, you'll have to wear the one that you're going to buy.
Should we finish before we do that? Say the formalities?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the formalities.
Because when we get into the shopping area, we get so excited and forget about it. So
expensive.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that expensive.
No. So anyway, let's do the formalities first and then let's go shopping.
So if you like the video, put your thumbs up and put on your notifications because then you won't miss an episode. And
if you're not a subscriber,
remember to subscribe.
Yeah, you should consider subscribing because the Arne Carlos family of subscribers is growing and there's lots of fun stuff here. Huh? We always post on Sundays, but nowadays we're a little bit more flexible. Unpredictable with our posting schedule because sometimes we may post something extra on a Wednesday or a Saturday, you never know. So,
surprise! That's why you need your notification.
Yeah.
Notification.
Your notifications, yes.
I know people find that funny. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah. Anyway, Arne.
Notification.
Time to do some serious shopping here and...
I don't have time for this.
Get a beautiful sweater.
Yeah. Bye. So... It's okay. This is the one I want. I haven't seen this one before. Look at the patch.
It's nice. I love the color. Beautiful. I love the color.
I like this one.
So if you would put a kind of decade on that, the pattern.
Oh, I have no clue.
40s maybe?
Maybe.
50s,
It could
60s.
be. It could be new also, but it looks very old. And
Yeah, I would say this is a. How about from the 1960s, the
Maybe.
pattern design?
But it is a good size.
Oh, I love it. Love it. It's beautiful, huh? So, dear viewers, what do you think about this sweater? Do you think we should buy it?
Well,
That's a stupid question.
that's a stupid question because by the minute, actually, when people see this, I already bought it.
Okay.
We can't wait
Yeah,
until.
but it looks good on you. It's nice. It's got a nice vintage feel to it, and it will make a great addition to our collection of sweaters. And in case you're wondering where it comes from, the brand is called Norrländer. So Norrländer, and the brand apparently was established in 1927. Traditional Norwegian knitwear. So yeah, I mean, if the brand was established in 1927, this design could very well have been done in the 40s, 50s, or 60s.
Mm-hmm.
It has a wonderful vintage look, and I think it will make a great addition to our collection. So I approve,
I'm having
and you
this
look
one.
great.
I'm
in
having
it.
this one.
Okay,
It's mine.
so go buy it.